And then you have the devaluations with China, the all-time. They're like grand chess masters or grand. I mean, these people are the greatest in history. They're grandmasters of that devaluation. They devalue their currency. Japan's doing very well too. They're killing Caterpillar. You know, they're ordering Komatsu tractors now because they've devalued the. You take a look at what's happened to the yen, and it's very hard. A friend of mine, he's a big excavator. You all know excavators. I love excavators. This guy's a very big one. He buys Caterpillar tractors all the time and excavators. He just put in a big order for Komatsu. Not that he wanted to. He said, Donald, they made it impossible for me not to buy. They've devalued the yen to such an extent, Japan, that it made it, I mean, I owe it to my family, to my company, to myself. I have no choice. And he was like depressed. He wanted to buy Caterpillar. I said, what's the difference? He said, they're both good. Caterpillar's better. But I couldn't help but do this. Well, China is doing that times 100, times 1,000. And what they're doing is the devaluation of their currency makes it impossible for people to compete. We can't allow that stuff to happen. Look, when we send stuff over to China, it doesn't get in. If it does get in, you have to pay a big tax. When they stuff out, you know, it's not supposed to be that way. You know, it's supposed to be free trade. It's supposed to be they come, we go, back and forth. They devalue their currency, and on top of it, they make it impossible. I have a friend, he's a great manufacturer. He said it's virtually impossible to get his goods, and he makes better stuff than they do. He can't get his goods into China. When he does get them in, he has a tax to pay. I have a friend who actually bought an airplane, and he can't get it into China because the tax is so massive. He's going to sell it now at a big loss. Okay? Well, and think about Boeing. By the way, think about Boeing. Boeing is building a plant over here. Boeing just had a big order from China, but China's making them build a massive airline facility, right? Massive, like bigger than anything you've seen. Okay, you feel good about Boeing right now? Tell me in 5 years, unless I'm president, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. But tell me in 5 years you're going to feel good about Boeing, because I'll tell you what's happening. They are going to build that plant. They're building it. They're building it. It's going to be finished soon. But they're going to build that plant. They're going to devalue the hell out of their currency. And all of a sudden, you'll be reading a big front page story all over the place that Boeing's going to leave, right, South Carolina. They're going to make all their planes in China. Because that's what they do. That's what they do. And our leaders aren't smart enough to stop it, okay? I have Carl Icahn endorse me, great businessman, very rich guy, very, very successful. If I told Carl, do me a favor, I want you to watch over China trade. We're going to be in great shape. We have right now people that have no concept of what they're doing. They have no concept of what they're doing. They're political hacks. I mean, that's what they are. They're political hacks. And these are the people that are negotiating with these people from China. And again, China likewise. I get along great with China. Largest bank in the world, my tenant. They buy condos for tens of millions of dollars. I have the Bank of America building in California. I own a big chunk of that. I got that through China, through a very complex set of transactions, but through China. I mean, I think China's terrific. I'm not angry at China. I'm angry at our leaders for not being able to compete with China. I'm not angry. So we're going to get things changed around. We're going to use our best people. We're going to be so smart, and we're going to start winning again. We're going to have strong borders. We're going to have strong military. We're going to take care of our vets. We're going to have such great trade deals. We're going to win again. We're going to win again. We're going to win so much. And, you know, and by the way, we're going to get rid of ISIS, and we're going to get rid of them fast. I was against the war in Iraq from the beginning. I was against the war in Iraq. We shouldn't have done it. We did it. Then Obama got out the wrong way. We shouldn't have done Iraq. We did it. It destabilized the Middle East. Exactly. If you go back, you could see 2003, 2004. I said it's going to totally destabilize the Middle East because you had Iran and Iraq. And they were the same militarily. They'd fight, boom. Then they'd rest. Then they'd fight for years and years and years. They were the same. We decapitated Iraq. And now Iran is taking over. Not only do they get the $150 billion, maybe the worst transaction I've ever seen negotiated. No, done by the famous Obama administration. The worst, the dumbest, one of the dumbest deals I've ever seen made. We get nothing. We should have gotten those hostages before we started even negotiating, not now. We should have gotten them years ago. But if you look at what's going on, and now on top of that, we gave them Iraq because Iran is now taking over Iraq. It's just taking it over. So here's what we did. We spent $2 trillion Thousands of lives lost. Wounded warriors who we all love all over the place. They're the best people, the most incredible. They're tougher than all of us, these people. I mean, what they've gone through. So the wounded warriors all over the place. You know what we have? Nothing. We have nothing. We have absolutely nothing. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to change things around. We're going to be smart. And we'll do what we have to do in terms of ISIS and all, but we have to start rebuilding our country. We have $4 trillion in the various places. $4 trillion, not going to happen anymore. We're going to have a strong military, but we have to rebuild our roads, our bridges, our tunnels, our schools, our hospitals. I mean, our country's like a third world country. You go over to Qatar and you go over to some of these places in the Middle East. You go to China, you see the airports, you see the bridges. They have bridges that are so incredible, you've never seen anything like it. They have railroad trains that go 350 miles an hour. And we have things that go chug, 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 like from 100 years ago. We've become like a third world nation because we're fighting everybody else's battles. And remember this, we are like the policemen of the world. But we don't get paid anything. We protect Germany. We protect Japan. Do you know that in Japan, if we get attacked, we have a treaty with Japan. If we get attacked, they don't have to do anything. If they get attacked, we have World War III. We have to protect them, okay? I mean, who makes these deals? We protect, as an example, South Korea. You have a maniac right next to him, right? But we protect South Korea. So every time we order televisions, they come from South Korea. They make a fortune. We protect South Korea. Let me tell you something. Why aren't they paying? They pay peanuts for what we do. Every time this guy, raises his head, we see our ships start to sail, our soldiers get ready. We have 28,000 soldiers at the border. So we take care of the world. We don't get it. Saudi Arabia, before the oil went down, they were making $1 billion a day. $1 billion a day. And we rent space so that we can help them. We rent military bases. We pay rent. And yet, without us, they wouldn't last for 2 weeks. They'd be gone. So we're going to change all that stuff, folks. I mean, we want to be good. We want to be fair. We want to have heart. And we're not going to let these Syrian folks in that we don't know who they are. We don't know where they come from. They're not coming into this country. They're not coming in. You have a lot of them. I don't know if you know it. You have a lot of them moving to South Carolina. I don't know. Have you heard this? And you ought to tell your governor, don't let them move to South Carolina. You don't want them in South Carolina. And I know they'll say, well, we have nothing to do. We're state government. Let me tell you something. If a governor from a state didn't want to have them, I don't care what it says, you don't have to have them. But we don't know where they come from. We want to help them with safe zones. We want to get the Gulf states to pay. I don't want to pay. We owe $19 trillion. We owe enough. We can lead it, but let the Gulf states, they have so much money, they don't know what to do with it. Let them build safe zones. Look at what's happening in Germany. It's a mess. Look at Sweden. Look at Brussels. I mean, Brussels, you go there 20 years ago, 15 years ago, was incredible. So when I call for moratoriums and I call for this, first I get hit with tremendous heat, right? Then everybody sort of says, he's right. Same thing on June 16th, I announced, got to stop illegal immigration. The heat I took was unbelievable. 3-4 weeks later, they're all saying, Trump is right. Then you had Kate killed in San Francisco, beautiful Kate, by an illegal immigrant. You had Jamil in Los Angeles killed, incredible guy. I mean, young man, wonderful father, is a friend of mine, a great guy. You had the veteran, 65-year-old woman, a veteran, raped, sodomized, and killed in Los Angeles by an illegal immigrant. Got to stop it, folks. We got to stop it. We got to be smart. We got to be a country again. We got to be a country again. So I just want to thank, this endorsement meant so much to me from these two guys and from the whole community. I just want to say, get out and vote. We're going to do something that you're going to be so happy with. We're going to win so much, and we're going to make America great again. That's what we want to do. Make America great again. So Saturday, get out and vote. Thank you. We love you all. Thank you very much. Thank you.